Well, I probably left out a big part of that. So let's go back. So for the people that are watching this, bear with me. Upon moving to California, I probably moved to California with more than 20 grand. And about a week later, I was sleeping on a bus bench in front of the casino.
So, as far as gambling go, like when did you first start gambling?
I say I was about 17.
17, okay.
You know, started with a couple friendly games of 2K. And then from there, kind of got introduced to like card games. And then at 19, I was given a fake ID. So I was kind of really introduced to the world of the casino.
Right.
So that was kind of the start of that.
Okay, so the 2K, was it just like you were playing for like 20 or 10?
Yeah,
something
10s
like
and 20s.
10, 20s.
You know, usually friendly banter, just kind of talking amongst friends. I'm better than you, you're better than me.
Right.
One of those type of things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the ID, like, was that so you could go to the casino, or was it just,
No, it was really just for the casino. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like you go into the casino, what happens? Like what do you?
Go in there, couple thousand at first, and then that didn't go as anticipated.
You brought a couple thousand?
I did.
Okay.
My very first time, I was 19, and someone showed me blackjack. I probably brought about 4,000. And like an hour later, I looked up and I no longer had 4,000. So my pride kind of got in the way. And from there, it became like a repetitive thing, because now it was like, well, not only do I want my money back, I also didn't really enjoy the feeling of losing.
Right.
So it was kind of like those two combined, you know?
Yeah.
So
how'd you lose it? Did you lose it all on blackjack, or did you play different stuff? Okay.
Yeah. I eventually started playing Baccarat, which is a short summary, Asian card game. It's very simple. Closest to 9 is the objective. I kind of transitioned from blackjack to that because I saw the difference in the available wins.
Okay.
Blackjack is kind of capped as far as what you could win.
Right.
Baccarat play upwards of 10,000 a hand. So I kind of was like, well, maybe I should shift here, more money, but bigger payout, which was not the good decision.
Right.
So.
Okay. And but back when you were like losing that $4,000 doing the blackjack, were you just losing it constantly, or was it like you're up, you're down, or was it just?
That first week was not. It was not a very good introduction to like. Usually you hear winners are beginner's luck.
Yeah.
That didn't really apply in my situation.
Okay.
So it was immediate downpour.
Just losing. Okay.
Yeah, immediate like. It was almost as if I walked in and said, here's $4,000 that I worked really hard for. Yeah. Would you mind looking after this for me? So, that's how that got there. Yeah.
And this is all in one night you lost it, or was it all?
That was one night.
Damn.
That was one night.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you decide, okay, when I go back, I'm gonna switch to something else.
I did. Well, what happened is, and I hate that I'm gonna have to shout him out here, also named Dre, my friend DeAndre, showed me Baccarat.
Okay.
And that happened to be on my 21st birthday. So when he showed me Baccarat, that was when I was like, no more blackjack. I kind of pretty much X'd out any other game. And it was strictly Baccarat.
Okay. And were you playing like with him or online or something before you got to the casino? Or
it started at the casino, and then I guess if I kind of want to speed up a little bit, I turned 21 March 29th, 2017.
Okay.
September of 2017, I was banned from the casino for a lifetime ban because my ex-girlfriend made me ban myself. I'm not gonna say her name, but we had a joint bank account at the time. We were supposed to be investing towards, what we saw as a future, and I wasn't really as disciplined as I should have been. So I was kind of, taken from both accounts, personal account, joint account, and it got to a point where it was just overwhelming for her. and she felt that I should probably sign myself out, so I did a lifetime ban. Now, mind you, within that 6 months, it's pretty hard to imagine a 21-year-old even having that amount, but I did manage to lose $250,000. And that's based off a win-loss statement that the casino will provide you with. So from there, it was just kind of like she didn't feel like it was a battle of her and the casino. And she made me choose. So I chose her. Fast forward a few months later, we ended up breaking up. She went her way, I went mine. Now I'm not allowed in the casino. In 2019, I was introduced to a website called Baccarat by my friend Dre.
Okay.
From there, I kind of, at the time, now I'm living in California. You know what? Is it possible you could pause really quick?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
I'm sorry. All
right, so we're back recording. So before we get into the like online bravado part, I want to go back to the casino. So the 250,000 was that all through Baccarat, or just different games?
Like, how did I generate that money?
Yeah.
Selling weed. At the time, I was probably moving like 50 to 100 pounds a week.
Oh, okay.
So you know what? I should probably kind of fill that in. To even get the money, I started selling weed at like 16. Started with a couple grams.
Okay.
Then eventually, the DEA kicked my door in when I was 17. Caught me with a pretty substantial amount. I ended up beating that case. Fast forward, now at 21, I moved down to Ohio State because that's where my ex was living at the time. So I figured, why not be on campus where there's more opportunity to sell to more people?
Right.
So now I went from a couple $100s a day to a couple thousand a day. So now I'm a little more loose with my ends and my finances because I feel like if I lose 2,000 a day, there's always tomorrow.
Make it back, right?
You know, but that's like it's like counterproductive way of thinking. And now in hindsight, I know that, but I didn't at the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you're in the casino, were you?
Was I winning?
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm gonna get into that, I'm probably one of the best Baccarat players I know. I am the youngest K member in the history of Jack's Casino, Cleveland, Ohio. So if someone was to look that up or call down there, they have a grading scale, which is the membership, and it's based off your play. So it's JACK. So within 6 months of turning 21, I managed to become a K member, and I was about $10,000 away from becoming an Affinity member. So I was awarded hotels, flights, things like that. But it's more glitz than it is glamour because that's also kind of lining up with what I'm losing. Right. So if I lose 10,000 and they give me a free hotel, did I really get a free hotel?
Right.
You know, it's $9,900 later, now I have a hotel. So I eventually got to like the highest, or one of the highest you could become. So I was having $60,000 weeks. The most I won in one sitting was probably 24,000 in 3 hours, but I've had, you know, multiple days where I've done 15,000 here, 15,000 here. I used to reserve private tables where I would do 500 a hand. So when you go in Jack's Casino, the layout, it's 6 Baccarat tables available usually. So I would actually reach out to who oversaw that section of the casino and I would tell them I want to rent a private table. So unless you're playing 500 a hand, you can't even sit at this table. So I was winning, I just didn't know when to walk away.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you get to the point where you get banned? Like, did you do something or was it like a self-imposed?
No, it was self-imposed.
So what do you do? Like, you go to them and say, ban me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Because you would, as a normal person who doesn't really know the intricacies of gambling, you wouldn't expect that to even be an option.
Right.
Like, for a normal person, you're just like, well, hey, if I got a gambling problem, maybe I should stay out the casino. No one would think it would elevate to the point that maybe I need to speak with the casino about keeping me out of here.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
So once it got to that point, it came to about probably one night where it just came to a head, and I probably lost maybe 12 grand, maybe more, maybe less. My numbers are scattered. She just didn't feel like I should keep going, and it was just that night, things kind of took a turn for the worse, and she basically gave me an ultimatum, me or the casino. So when you walk in the security office, they give you 3 options: 1 year, 5 year, or a lifetime. When you sign this lifetime, the only person that can sign you back in is the person that witnessed you sign out.
Okay.
So, now obviously years back, me and her don't speak. So therefore, I'm not even allowed to gamble in the state of Ohio or any casino affiliated with Penn Gaming Commission. And I learned the hard way because I went to a casino in PA and I was almost arrested. And they could actually confiscate your funds, but typically what they'll do is they'll give you a warning because it's trespassing at that point because you banned yourself from the property.
Right.
So you can be arrested for real. And I took chances because I still wanted to gamble, that I went out of state. And this is before Bravado. I had to go 2 hours outside of my territory to lose money.
Right.
So
what's the process? Like, you just walk in and say, I want to...
sign myself out?
Yeah, like the ban list. Like, how do? Because I never even heard of this.
Speak to the casino.
You just
speak.
okay.
I mean, honestly, if you're sitting at a table and that thought comes to head right there, you can speak to the dealer.
Okay.
And they'll speak to the floor worker or whoever's controlling that, because they got different people, and then they'll reach out to security. And they'll take you to the security office. They'll, gather your identification, make sure you're who you say you are, and they'll go from there.
So, like, how did you know this was even an option?
Actually, when I first started gambling, one of my friends, a guy goes by Dave, he told me one of his guys had banned himself before.
Oh, okay. So that's how you knew about it.
And this was now 2 years later, where I'm like, you know what, that might have to be an option.
Right.
So that's how that came to be.
Okay. So then, I mean, I don't know if you know the answer to this or not, but like, what if the person that witnesses it, like, dies? Then what? Like, you just can't get back in ever?
Can you give me one more second?
Yeah.
I know you're gonna have to delete this clip. I'm so sorry,
no,
man.
it's cool, it's cool. All right, so we starting back up. So I think the last thing I was asking you was, if you do the lifetime ban, the only way to undo it and get back in the casino is if the person that witnessed it, I guess with you, signed you back in. So then I was saying, like, I don't know if you know the answer to this, but what if...
that person dies?
Yeah, they dies. Then
so there's 2 extremes to that.
Okay.
A, the person can witness you sign yourself back in if they approve. B, if that person is no longer of the living or if you're not in contact with them, you have to go through a chain of commandments. Like, you have to reach out to the casino commission in Columbus with a written or verbal statement of why you want to sign yourself back in. And it's actually a lot.
Yeah.
And it's probably more complicated than just saying screw it.
Right.
Let me not even go back in.
Yeah. Okay. So from there, you go into the online then?
Yeah.
To Bravado.
Really what started the online is, my dates might have been mismatched. 2020 was my official Bravado coming because the casino shut down in LA during COVID.
Okay.
So now I needed another outlet to still gamble. And Bravado was the only site at the time that allowed me to gamble with California address, because some of them were only either out of state or out of the country, and it offered Baccarat. So I figured I can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And that was probably one of the worst decisions of my life, because the online creates a way darker portal than me actually driving to the casino, because my phone is in my hand all day. So now this online is more accessible. So it's a terrible decision. Terrible decision.
So what were you playing on?
Baccarat.
Baccarat.
A little bit of sports betting, 96% Baccarat.
Baccarat, okay.
Yeah.
And how are you doing online versus the casino? Was there any difference in winnings?
You win at a faster pace because you're in a room by yourself. If you choose an online game where you could just you and the computer, so a hand is dealt with in 3 seconds. So as fast as I can bet $1,000 in 3 seconds, I can potentially win 5,000 to 6,000 a minute.
Right.
You know, so I would have $15,000 days more frequently. The most I've actually went online and cashed out was about 16,000, but it only lasted for 24 hours because I bought back in the next day and gradually gave back probably 14,000. I managed to spend 2,000, but then I gave back. And there lies the problem, and that's why I kind of see myself on the deeper end of gambling, is because most people who go to work will say, if I triple or quadruple what I've won or what I've earned today, I'm content. I'm not content. Like if I see I can win 15,000 today, something in my mind clicks where like, well, maybe I can win 150,000.
Right.
And it's not the best approach.
So then what happens next? Like,
well, I probably left out a big part of that. So let's go back. So for the people that are watching this, bear with me. Upon moving to California, I probably moved to California with more than 20 grand. And about a week later, I was sleeping on a bus bench in front of the casino. Because when you get to LA, you get off at LAX, that's Century Boulevard. Also on Century Boulevard happens to be Hollywood Park Casino, so which is a mile from the airport. So upon my arrival to LA, I've checked into my hotel, which is on the same street. And the average person might be like, hey, I'm in LA now, I just moved here, let me go celebrate by going to the beach or the dispensary. I said, well, how about celebrating by winning some more money? So I went to the casino, and a week later, I was literally sleeping on the bench in front of the casino. And because I only paid for my hotel for a week because my thought process was I'll pay as I go.
right.
But I should have paid beforehand so I could have had some security. Well, I called Dre. Dre introduces me to this chick, Lauren. Me and Lauren, we meet. She pays for my hotel that night. We meet the next day. From there, we kind of develop a friendship. Literally what it was. I wouldn't say platonic. It was definitely some attraction there, but I was more so in the pits of kind of, I just moved out here a week ago. I just need somewhere to go, so I wasn't really focused on, you know. And she started assisting me. She introduced me to a couple of connects, kind of helped me get back on my feet as far as the weed went. And then fast forward, me and her are kind of staying together, but then I'm still gambling, so she kicks me out. So now I go to Vegas for a few months. I ended up having to check into a youth shelter in Vegas. One day I was on the Strip after losing my last $1,000. My hotel was paid for 2 nights. Now I lost the money. I met this cat from Michigan named Darius, and he seen me, and he's outside on the Strip, and I see him smoking. I said, hey, bro, you know, I don't normally do this, but it's a bad time right now. Do you mind if I hit your blunt? And he was like, yeah, bro. He's like, come on. He's like, I know how it is. And that was probably one of the lowest points in my life because I just went from probably seeing hundreds of thousands, if not more than 1 million from selling weed. I mean, I know everybody. I'm living in Ohio State, to fast forward, I'm driving foreign cars, riding around with 20, 30,000 to a year later, I'm literally on the Strip panhandling essentially. I'm asking someone to smoke their weed, you know? So it's so out of character for me that now as I look at it, I'm like, holy shit. Like if someone showed me, if I was 17 and you showed me that's who I would have been X amount of years later, I would have slapped somebody. So I would have said, that's a joke. So now me and him meet. He asked me my situation. Fast forward, he says, bro, I got somewhere you can stay. I got a youth shelter. I check into the youth shelter. Me and him, we connect. We're going to work every day. He gets me a job working at the convention centers in Vegas. Well, the problem with that is there's casinos everywhere in Vegas. So every time I'm getting paid, rather than building my money to get out of this shelter, I know I got stability after I lose this money because I can just go lay my head at the shelter. Right. So my mind was so deep in the gutter, I was taking everything that I got. I mean, I'm reaching out to people, getting cash apps. And to anyone who sees this video, who I may owe money, who I may have forgotten, or we might not be connected. I don't know, I don't know if I should look at the camera this way, whatever. Yeah. I do appreciate anyone that helped me in my time of need, because I probably had a few hundred people send me money throughout that time. And the average person might not have a support system where they can reach out to 2 people. I had hundreds of people at my disposal who knew of my situation and were like, man, we really messed with you at a time and you were a cool dude, we had a connection, I'm gonna help you.
Right.
But rather, it was a slap in the face to them because they're regular working people and I'm taking the money to go gamble.
Yeah.
So fast forward after like 2 months of staying in Vegas, I just decided this probably isn't for me. And I had a homie who was flying from Cleveland to Cali and he wanted to check out some trees. So I said, if you can help me get from Vegas back to Cali, I got you. So that's how I made it back to Cali. And now me and Lauren reconnect. We end up, getting an apartment together and COVID happens. Mm-hmm. So now we're in the midst of online world because now the casinos are shut down. So should I not go too far?
No.
Okay.
You can keep going.
Before I say that, I did have one incident before the final casino shut down. So I stayed downtown LA. Mm-hmm. There's this little city in Southern California called Hemet, which they have a casino called Saboba. So at the time, I didn't have a vehicle. So I took a train from downtown LA with like $2,500. I just quit my job the day before, took my last check. Lauren doesn't know this. She thinks I'm going to work. Unbeknownst to her, I'm on my way to the casino, which was work in my mind. So now I'm headed to this casino with a one-way trip. I didn't book a two-way because I'm thinking I'm gonna stay for the night, enjoy myself. I might go to Palm Springs, whatever. I'm in La La Land. This is the thought process of a gambler, right? So I now get out here, I lose this $2,500. This I've never really told too many people this. This kind of gets extreme. I have no way back to LA. This is the following night. So now I've been out here for almost 24 hours. Lauren is contacting me. We got a dog at home. She's like, dude, where are you? My mom's calling me. I got friends like, bro, what's going on? Where you at? Now I'm so embarrassed to call anybody to try to help me back to LA. I'm literally out of resources. I see a guy at the gas station, and I can see he's kind of walking around. So I asked him, I said, man, is there anywhere I could go, sleep around here? Like, I need somewhere to lay my head for a few. He took me to this abandoned apartment building and showed me this inside of a bando. And I was like, even me being from Cleveland, being familiar with abandoned homes, I'm not about to sleep in that. Even though I don't have nowhere else to go, I'm okay. So I'm like, let me figure something else out. So upon walking around, I now see a car with this window somewhat down. Mm-hmm. I literally probably broke into somebody's vehicle because the window was down, but I still reached my arm in to open the door. And I got in there and I laid down for 6 hours. I set an alarm for 4 a.m. and I figured if someone comes out here, sees me in their car asleep, how would I react? Right. So I should probably be gone before they wake up. So now I'm all over the place. I'm trying to get out of Saboba. A couple hours later after I wake up, I end up going to this hospital. And I telling them and I really wasn't, I kind of told them I was suicidal, but I just needed somewhere to sleep and get some food. And I knew that they would do that. So now they put me under some 5150 leave. And this all stemmed from me going to the casino and losing all my money and not having a way back to LA. So now I'm in this hospital for 3 days. Well, in that 3 days, the universe is pulling strings. PUA starts to come out, which is pandemic unemployment assistance for the folks that don't know. Now, my mom files my PUA in Ohio, although I'm in California. In that 3 days, it registers, and it says I'm receiving a couple $1,000s back. So now she finally gets in contact with me because I call her from the hospital. So now, not only am I eager to check out the hospital, the first thing I want to do is go pick up this money to go back to the casino. So I leave there, I take a Greyhound back to LA. Me and Lauren hash everything out. Her concern was definitely warranted. I've been gone for 3 days. I didn't really give her the in-depth version. I just told her, you know, some shit happened. I'm cool now. And now I take this thousands of dollars from PUA and I go back to the casino. And then it becomes a point where now I'm getting thousands of PUA dollars and I'm just going head first into the casino. And then the last casino in LA shuts down. Coincidentally, Dre flies out the same week the last casino shut down and just so happened to show me Bovado. So it was almost like, I couldn't have written it any better,
right?
You know, in my mind, the casino shut down, but now I have this online game where I don't even need to leave the house.
Yeah.
So crazy.
So then you started betting on Bovado.
Yeah.
Win, lose. So then.
A little bit of fluctuating.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So then how do you get out of that, or do you?
I don't. Fast forward, it's to the point now that me and Lauren's relationship is on the rocks because of my gambling. And that's what happened with the woman before her. So now this is the second time in my life where I'm potentially compromising my relationship and my future with my woman who I want to be with for a game of cards that doesn't have a specific outcome. It's random outcomes, you know? So I'd never beat that. I didn't. What ended up happening is a year later, I'm still gambling like crazy. Now our lease is almost up. She wants to decide she wants to move to Arizona. So I say, okay, that's fine. At the time, I had a warrant in Ohio, so I didn't want to come back to Ohio. So she came back to Ohio, stayed for a few weeks, and when she was supposed to return to California, we were going to drive to Arizona together and buy a house. So I took the money she gave me for our down payment, made $17,000, and then I lost everything. So when she came back to LA, I was now homeless again. So she didn't want anything to do with me, went to Arizona by herself. So now I'm back homeless in LA. Like now I have a dog with me. I'm checking in and out of shelters. I'm like going to programs that are paying for my hotels. But
so she left the dog? Like, was it your dog or hers?
It was the dog that we got together.
Oh, okay.
You know, shout out to her. Her name is Baby. I bought her off a homeless guy, ironically, before I was homeless, for $15 when she was 3 days old. So now she's with me through all of this.
Right.
So now she's in the shelters with me. We're sleeping on trains. I'm walking around all night. I mean, it was pretty sad sight, you know. And I check into a last shelter, and then God kind of opened the door for me, and I end up working at this Korean warehouse in Gardena, California. And from there, me and the owner hit it off, and he asked me, did I want a truck driving job? And mind you, I don't have a license. My license in Ohio is suspended at the time. I informed him of this. He said, that's okay. He said, you drive at your own risk. And he explained what he would pay me. We basically agreed on like $10,000 a month. So now I have this truck driving job where I'm going all across the country. I haven't been home in Ohio in almost 3 years at this point. So now my very first job.
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
So I guess at this point, you get the truck driving job. It's paying 10 grand a month. But you
plus
mentioned before
tips.
Plus tips.
Plus tips, yeah.
But before that, you mentioned like you had a warrant back in Ohio?
So the reason I moved to Cali,
right.
I should probably say rather fled to Cali. Because back then I was kind of in the now. I was 22 when I did that. Now I'm 29. So this is 7 years, 7 years later. I got caught with a substantial amount of weed in 2017 through 3 different counties. And I didn't go to court for 2 of them, but 1 of them gave me probation. But it was a lot. I'm not gonna really get into the numbers on that.
Right.
In 2018, they finally apprehended me on January 9th. I got back from New York the day before because I went there for New Year's for 2018. On January 9th, I was stopped sleeping in a hotel parking lot. I was so high that I was waiting on somebody to bring me a couple pounds of weed that I fell asleep in this rental car with like $5 grand on me, and I was arrested because I had multiple warrants. So now from there, from January 2018, I don't see the streets again until actually let me rephrase. From January, I don't see the streets until April. I'm sent to a halfway house after spending a couple months in the county. While I'm at this halfway house, I'm trying to get back to life so fast that they send us on this volunteer mission. While we're volunteering, I basically called a ride and escaped, which is what they called it, from the halfway house. It wasn't really escape because I'm already in the community.
Right.
Neither here nor there. So now I receive this charge. Now they apprehend me 14 days later. Now I spend the next 6 months in the county, multiple counties. So now I come home in December of 2018, and I'm supposed to go start a prison sentence within the next month or two. Well, when the judge told me that, what I did was I gathered all my funds and I decided to let's play Catch Me If You Can. So now I booked a flight to California, and in my mind, I thought it was a solid plan. I figured if I'm gonna go on the run, where would be best? Probably California, because I'm already flying here every month to purchase weed to send back. So now I'll already be here. All I have to do is just be here, and I'm gonna still make $50,000 a month just sending weed back.
Right.
It worked out until I got off that plane and realized there was a casino a mile away. Had that not been, you know, who knows what could have been, you know? But so now I'm like, now I have this driving job with a warrant, with no license. My very first trip, I'm routed to Texas to Virginia, back to Denver. Going across the country, now I get to pass through multiple states. One of those, fortunately, being Ohio, which I haven't been to in 3 years because I have a warrant. So upon coming to Ohio, I asked my boss to extend my trip 2 days. I got to stay with my mom. I got to see a couple of my family members throughout that time. Now I get back on the road. I'm driving through Gary, Indiana. There's a place called Hard Rock Casino in Gary, Indiana. I see a big old sign, and I'm immediately drawn to it. So now I have company money on me, $4,500 to be exact. I'm gonna make $5,000 from this trip, but as of this moment, this money isn't mine. I walk in there and I lose every dollar. So now I have my dog with me in the truck. I'm now stranded at this truck stop with the EBT card and $20 and like barely any gas. So now I'm like scrambling. I'm calling everybody. I managed to get a couple hundred because I didn't want to tell my boss what I did yet.
Right.
So I managed to get out of there a day later. I'm stuck for a day. I showered at the truck stop. Now I'm back on the road. Now, every casino I see on the way to Denver, I stopped. So now I'm assed out. So now I make it to Denver like 4 days later, to the point that my boss had to fly from California, rent a car in Denver to drive 2 hours from there to give me a company credit card because he wouldn't give me any more cash because I just gambled.
Right.
So now he allows me to work my way out of that. So now I'm working for the company for months. But every time I go back, every time I hit the road, I'm gone for 27 days. So now I'm supposed to be coming back with 10, 15, 20,000 because I'm doing 7, 8 loads. I'm not coming back to California with money because I'm gambling it.
Right.
So it got to the point that like 3 months later, I'm now like maybe 18,000 in debt with the company. He let me work 1 month off where I probably only made 2,000. Got it down to about 8,000. And he had a conversation with me. He said, this is your last time. You know, what he would do is he would give me a per diem of 20 a day for food. He paid for half my hotels while I'm on the road, and then I pay for the other half. So I could keep gambling, I would not buy hotels as frequently. Most times I just sleep in the truck, shower at the gas station, and then, cause you know, it's a truck stop.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the casino with the remaining. So my last trip, I went from LA to, mind you, I'm a felon on the run at this point. And I've been to 36 states across the country, you know, with no license. So now my last trip is going to Washington State. Then I'm supposed to reroute from there to Oregon and then San Francisco. So I'm supposed to be coming back with about 9,500. Soon as I get to Washington, I blow 2,500. So now I got 7,000. Soon as I get to Oregon, I blow another 5,000. Now I got about 500. I fill my tank up, I take my last 300 and I blew it in San Fran. So now I'm stuck in San Francisco for 2 days. And now within that 2 days, I didn't have the money to pay my workers. So now I have a customer's items on my truck for an extra 2 days. 2 days past the delivery date. So my boss sends me the money to pay the workers. I get the truck unloaded. When I get back to LA, he said, hey man, drop the truck off. And this is it. I didn't take that too well. So I did really spaz on him. Like I said, some really hurtful things. And I probably shouldn't have said that aren't cool, considering that this man put me in a position
Right. Yeah.
to not only, I was in a homeless shelter before I met this guy. Now I'm making $10,000 a month. The average person would be living their best life. I'm not doing that. So to this day, I still owe the company $8,000. You know, at some point in due time, I definitely plan on taking care of that. But more so, I just kind of want to have a conversation with the guy and let him know, like, as a man, I was wrong. You know, me now being a small company owner, I would fire somebody immediately. You gave me 3 months, you know, but he didn't know the extent of my gambling.
Right.
So
you've already reached out to him, or you plan on reaching out to him?
I have not.
Okay.
And I'm one of those people, man, and I probably should stop doing this in my life. I'll go months or years without talking to somebody if I have not righted what I have done with them, whether that be I owe them money or something I maybe just need to apologize on. It's also a pride issue, and it's also a matter of, like, I know if me and you are having a discussion or we're friends and we fall out over money, next time I see you, the main thing I'm thinking about is every time I'm looking at your face, I'm seeing dollar signs. I'm like, where is my money? So for people who I'm put in that position, I just haven't even contacted them until I know I got it, because who wants a baseless excuse? Who am I to be like, hey, I know I owe you this, but I don't have it right now. But when I do, the main component in that is but. No one wants that. So I haven't reached out to him. Yeah.
So from there, do you head back to Ohio, or how's it?
Well, from there, now I'm back homeless for like the 4th time in LA. Now I'm staying with a woman who I met off Craigslist. I did a move for her. And she would always like have me bring my dog around, an older woman. You know, it was very platonic. She's like a 60-year-old Hispanic lady. She let me bring my dog, you know, and play with her dog. So now she's let me move in for a few weeks. She didn't charge me rent. She said, you can stay here, get your stuff together. I'll take care of you, baby. I said, cool. After like 2 weeks, I'm just going so hard. I mean, I rented a U-Haul. Now I'm doing jobs in LA, probably doing 1,000 a day, but I'm gambling everything. So got to a point where one day, Lauren comes back to LA, and now I haven't talked to her in like 6 months. I haven't seen her in about a year. Me and her ended up having a falling out, and that was like the final draw. And I just called my people, and I was like, man, just give me a flight back. You know, I was just like, it's probably time I need to come back home. You know, so now I make my journey back to Ohio. I'm in Ohio for about 3 months, and then the SWAT team kicks my mother's door. So I'm dragged out my house. Before that, as they're knocking on the door and kicking the door, I hide in the attic, which is not necessarily an attic, it's a crawl space.
Okay.
So now I'm hiding in installation, thinking they're not gonna find me here. I didn't know they have heat sensors, shit like that, excuse my language, to kind of like scope out the home before they even go in. So they know I'm here already. I think I'm doing a great job of hiding. They arrest me, I go to prison, I go to county jail, then I go to prison for about 8 months. And then I end up going to a halfway house, wrap that up. But even through all things, guess what I'm still doing? Gambling. Now I'm gambling in prison. Now it's causing problems in prison. Now I'm fighting in a county jail over oodles and noodles, dollar soups, but it's more so a pride and respect thing.
Yeah.
And now I'm now in prison to where now I'm playing $200 games of cutthroat or spades or whatever. And now it's it's one of those environments where it's gonna cost a lot of tension if you don't pay.
Yeah.
You know, so I got in a few situations there, you know, had to get myself out of a few situations, physically, also monetarily. So then I come home and then I'm still gambling because now I'm back online because obviously I can't go in Ohio. So
In these games, you know, spades, cutthroat, like, did you ever play those like prior, or you just started playing it just
it's a great question. I did not. My first time ever playing spades was in the county jail in 2018, and I lost $300 of my food. Shout out to my mom because she made sure I ate every week. I never missed a store from the county jail to prison. I've never went hungry. I've never missed a phone call. Never went without. I would take that, and that's basically money in there. Food is money.
Yeah.
And I would take that, sit at these tables with a game I know nothing about, but I'm an adrenaline junkie, which I realize. And it's the endorphins that are released with the attraction of winning and then winning big, you know? So now I'm playing with food and I'm supposed to be consuming that my people are working on the streets to pay for while I'm in jail.
Right.
But I'm like, no, screw that. Let me take this one noodle and turn it to 10 noodles. So now I don't have that one noodle. Now that noodle was gone. So now months in, now I learned how to play. But before and I never played.
So you just had to play something, had to gamble something, had to get that rush, or?
I mean, I'm shooting dice. Not gonna name any names. I shot dice in prison. And a guy beat me for $80. I really didn't like it. I didn't like losing, but I wasn't really in a position to confront this guy because he probably had not necessarily more rank. I'm not gang affiliated. This is someone who's been in this prison for a long time, knows, you know, so that could really get out of hand.
Yeah.
So I send him 20 that night on Cash App. I call my people from prison, make them Cash App, his people. Now I owe him 60. Fast forward, 2 months have passed. I've not paid this man his 60. I'm smoking every day. I'm eating. He sees me spending money, even though I'm in jail. I'm still spending money. So now he has this crazy ass bunkie, like insane. And now he sends this guy at me, and this guy literally pulled a fucking like machete on me, in like the middle of the day room, over $60 from a gambling debt. From a dice game I probably shouldn't even have been in because I'm in prison for months for some weed, and some of these guys are probably never going home for some, you know, whatever transpired. And I'm putting myself in a really dangerous position. So now this guy pulls a knife on me and my bunkie at the time, and my guy Florida, and he's like, bro, he's like, you need to pay that guy, bro. He's like, dude, that dude got 27 years left, bro. Like, he don't care what happens. Like, bro, he'll kill you right now. So I'm like, you know, my pride was like, initially, as a black man, not all of us, but a lot of us have so much hidden trauma that violence is usually the reaction. So my first thought was, this guy just threatened my life. I need to handle that. But then on the back end, I'm like, bro, I'm about to go home in a few months, like back to the real world. I'm gonna pay this man. So I immediately got on the phone and sent him his money, and that was it from there. But I shouldn't even have been in that position.
So you stopped gambling completely after that? Or?
I stopped gambling in prison after that.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like in prison, okay.
For sure.
Yeah.
That was like a
wake up.
That was a wake up.
Yeah.
That was like death. Like, bro, I'm right here, chill. Because if anybody's ever been in a situation where, you know, you're surrounded by weapons around people who aren't afraid to use them, and you kind of have some, like, you're kind of more sensible, you're like, let me get out of this situation. So I figured the best way was just pay this guy, go about my business. You know, we never had any conversation after that, but that's probably not the only time I put myself in a bit of danger for gambling because when I was gambling before, I was getting fronted pounds of weed by multiple plugs. So I'm not always paying them on time. I might take 10 pounds and go make 25,000, and I might owe this plug 15,000, but I might lose that. So now I owe this guy. And granted, I've never had anybody like come try to kill me about it, but it could have got really bad, you know? And I wasn't realizing that. I'm just thinking this is just harmless gambling. You know, I might lose a few dollars, but there's a tomorrow. I didn't realize how deep I was getting, you know? And it actually, the worst situation I put myself in, I was shot January 14th of 2017. I was talking to a girl at the time, and the night before, I lost $700 on 2K. And I have to be at court at 8 in the morning. So whatever happened, definitely I'm at fault. This girl comes in from the club at like 2 in the morning. I got court in 6 hours, so I'm mad. I just lost this money. I'm mad at her. So unfortunately, we ended up having a fight. Things kind of went south. The next day, I ended up getting shot by, you know, some of her close associates. And that situation already fizzled itself out. But that those bullets came from the result of gambling. Because had I not been gambling that night, I wouldn't have had that much anger to do what I did following that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's just wrong place, wrong time, man, you know? Yeah.
So I think when we were talking, I think like in between one of the takes, you were saying how you got to the point where you still gamble now, but it's just kind of like here and there, just like how like anybody else would do. Like you don't even consider
more
yourself.
Recreational,
right?
You know, it's not definitely. It's more so fun now. At the time, the thing that they tell you with gambling is once you stop having fun, you become an addict. Because there's a difference between I'm gonna drive down to the slot, 80-year-old woman, sit on this slot for 6 hours, blow her pension gambler, from a professional gambler to an addict. Yeah. Professionals know when to walk. Addicts have an issue. Some people just gamble recreationally. So I was kind of like, I thought I was a professional, but I wasn't. So that's but as far as now, if someone asks me, do I have the temptation to still gamble? Much like anything, I'd probably say yes, but do I follow through with it? No, only because I know what that end result is, you know? So I try to chill on that. Last year I was still head over heels, but now at 29, I feel like it's time to really slow down.
Right.
And at 21, I went to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting, and I was the youngest person in the room by like 30 years. And I never went back because I'd always said that that's not me. I'm not gonna lose my house or my kids' tuition or my future. Now at 29, I'm now having to like regroup with my life. And what I did at 19 through 21 was supposed to really position me for the future. But I allowed a casino to kind of like take that from me, you know? And this is a place that is designed to stay open. It's a reason their lights are on.
Right.
No one's gonna come in there and make them close down. It's not gonna happen. So my thought process was, how can I kill the casino? But I was really killing myself, you know? The stress, the loss of friends. The money I don't really think about too much, but I do because money offers security, you know? It offers opportunity. So I could have took that and really branched out, but I thought that gambling was more important than everything, man. Friends, family. I mean, there would be months I'd go 6 months without a haircut because I'm just like, I don't even care, you know? Anyone who knows me knows where my focus is right now. My focus is this casino. You know, it was a sickness. Yeah. And I'm not gonna get into this too much, but I come from a line of addicts. And my mother was a very bad drug addict when I was growing up. Power to her because she's, years in the making of sobriety. But when I was growing up, I was very harsh on her because of her addiction, because I thought that she abandoned me as a kid when my grandmother would get custody and my dad was doing 14 years in Rikers Island. As a child, I didn't understand what this woman's thought process was of birthing me, but not to be there for me to go smoke crack.
Right.
Now, going through the midst of what I went through with my own gambling addiction, I understand that it's not that you see this as more important than other people. It's something doesn't click in your mind to let you know that this is not okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you convince yourself. That's the part of denial. I think my biggest thing with gambling is I was in denial.
And you mentioned earlier about, I think you were saying like when you were in prison, how you were like an adrenaline junkie and you just had to gamble. So like, have you replaced it with something else?
Sort of, man. So the work I do, I'm moving, hauling, demolition, kind of get my company off the ground. That kind of replaces that. Because when I'm working, I'm doing a moving job, 5-6 hours, I don't even take a break. Some of my crew might be like, hey man, we need 15 minutes. I'm just powering through it because I really am an adrenaline junkie.
Right.
And I used to, I haven't in a few months, I used to work out, I was kind of getting into that and I seen that was kind of like a good way to channel that energy. But then it's also, I've been in so many outlets to where I know how to make money. I've never seen a place where I could generate that type of income that fast. Even when I sold weed, the most I might have made was $20,000 in a day. It took me going to 20 different people and put my life on the line. I might have either got arrested, I might have got killed. I've walked in a casino and made that in hours. So for me, it was like, where else am I gonna make this type of money? That's why I was so heavily attracted to it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Yeah. So now you feel like you're like in a good
I'm in a good space.
Yeah, you're in a good space. Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Mental health is important. I've been kind of putting more importance on that, and where I was with the gambling, I was once one of the most confident people I knew. I've always been kind of very outgoing as a kid, but sometimes I was kind of a goofball, kind of certain people were kind of off put by my energy, but I've always been positive, but the people that did like me genuinely, they genuinely rocked with me. So doing what I was doing with everything and going through all that, to then gambling, it was like a total shift,
Yeah.
Coming up, obviously, I probably thought I was gonna go to college, the normal route, to have to like press the restart button so many times because of a card game, it just was crazy.
Yeah. All right. Well, is there anything else you want to add to that, towards the story, towards the end, or you feel like you said, like you're in a good space now?
I definitely want to say to anyone who's thought about getting into gambling, because obviously right now we live in a space where technology is rampant. Sports betting apps are more broadcasted than ever. It's in your face. So for the average person who may think it's only $50, I may come up. $50 is a lot. When you're living in the real world, $50 can go a long way in Peru, right?
Yeah.
$50 could go a long way in the market. $50 could go a long way in life. But it's about the collective 50s. If I lose this 50 today and I make 50 tomorrow, did I really make 50 tomorrow, or am I just replacing the 50 I lost yesterday? So for people who think it's just a couple bucks, I just want to gamble, I encourage them to save your money, invest your money, find a different outlet. Because it might start off as friendly and innocent, but it could get really treacherous.
Yeah.
It really can. So it's my advice to the people.
Yeah. All right. I think it's a good spot to leave it right there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, Martell. Appreciate it, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me.
All right.